Okay, give me the update. Okay, I am Dan Crosby, CEO of BioSteel and Canadian Protein. I own a real estate investment firm or portfolio of real estate. And what else?
Let's get into it.
That's enough for me right there. That's enough. Okay, give me an update of what happened this week and what's the takeaways, wins, losses.
Yeah, so I would say that big win for the week was launching Hydration Max.
Jeez, bring your thing down a little bit. Yeah, I'm too tall.
Scott's in here.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go. That works.
Shorty Scott.
Yeah.
Yeah, so huge win this week was Hydration Max launch. Really happy with how that turned out. Obviously, with a new formula, new packaging in retail, in e-commerce, there's a lot of things that can go wrong. And I would say that I'm really happy with how this rolled out. The product tastes great. Super happy with the packaging.
Late. You can't see it on camera, eh?
Yeah, little late, but and you can talk about that more a little bit later. But I think that also we launched 2 flavors last Friday, and we're having fantastic sales data already coming from that. I think we're seeing that there's a need from our consumers in the market for a product like this with a high dose electrolytes. Tastes great. I think it's branded and marketed very well.
Am I doing good on it?
But yeah, so super happy with how that launched. Next, I'd say at a high level, we are humming with, call it like operational output right now. We have, look at the parking lot right now with the number of cars that are here. We've got a bunch
I've noticed that. I never have a spot.
Yeah, we're parking on the side road.
I got to park on the road all the time.
Yeah, so we're humming right now. We are ahead of schedule on producing the next large production runs for Hydration Mix and flavored creatine coming soon. Super excited about that launch, which will be in September, October of this year. And it's going very well.
Are we launching it earlier on the website or anything?
Website will be first. Yeah.
Like right when it's done, we should just.
Yep. Yeah,
even like when do we start manufacturing for flavored creatine?
So we're producing like a few million sticks per flavor.
Yeah.
And essentially we're just doing like one flavor for weeks on end. So until we get the full variety pack, it'll still be maybe about a month or 2 from now.
You don't want to launch like.
But we're doing Hydration Mix first.
Yeah. Oh.
So
we haven't done even. We haven't
started
even
flavored creatine yet. Yeah.
I gotcha.
The 6 products altogether. So the 3 flavors for Hydration Mix, the 3 flavors for flavored creatine is going very well. Like we're humming with that. But no flavored yeah, for real. But I think we've dialed in a lot of things lately to like we have extra change parts on the machine. We have an extra shift. We have all the things to allow us that even if something does go wrong, we have like backup plans, right? So that's definitely helping us.
Yeah.
We also have, don't want to talk about that piece.
What? Just cut it out.
Yeah. So cut this part out, but essentially, my concern with outsourcing production to was like the extra like costs like recently, and where we thought we were going to be able to have it outsourced at the same cost. It's like not playing out to where like it's not actually manifesting. So
why? What's going on?
Essentially just lo and behold, extra costs coming up and like, oh, we can't meet that target pricing. Like, you know how they always fucking say this with co-manufacturers.
So they overpromised and underdelivered.
Yeah. But we're going to be able to bring production for Hydration Mix back fully in-house by July. So already by next month, which is good news.
How much over and above are we paying per unit?
This past month was probably about $1.50 per unit. So on a $6 COGS, it's a 25% increase.
Are they making our labels?
And they are not making our labels yet, but they will be soon. Yeah.
Is it because our labels are cheaper?
So we actually prefer the material and the finish of like our existing labels, but they're going to be able to match it. And we're going to be able to get better costing and like pricing terms on it, payment terms. But all in all, like I think that being able to bring the production for that in-house using their labels, but not using them as a co-man is going to be the best case scenario. So already by July, we're going to be implementing that.
Do they still want to sell a facility?
I haven't talked to them about that in a while. Yeah, I'll bring it up again. So, okay, come back into it. So there's that on production side of things. But yeah, I'd say all in all, like that's definitely other kind of like high level thing is that we spent a while trying to kind of build out the foundations of the business, that if we were to able to then bring somebody on, we can have them hit the ground running and scale something up very quickly. So I feel like kind of over the last year we did a good job doing that, and now I'm really starting to see certain, call it, departments or positions like just scale up so much faster with being able to have someone come in, hit the ground running like right away. So I think I'm also at a high level happy with that as well. I definitely want to continue kind of trying to throw gas on the fire to scale this whole thing up very quickly. Pleased about that. What else do we have here? I mean, we can talk a little bit about cash flow and our plans surrounding that. We did kind of talk about that already in the last episode.
Sound didn't work.
Yeah, so kind of all in all, like we are adjusting to a new style of cash flow.
More applicable to our style of retail business, which we are not in currently.
Yeah, so with Canadian Protein, historically, you had a negative cash, or the business was in a negative cash flow position. What that means, it sounds bad, but it actually is the good thing, the good way of doing it. It essentially means that you're getting your money from your customer prior to even having to pay your supplier bills. Mm-hmm. So some of
I'll explain why we were able to do that is because we would get the raw material to make the product. We'd make the product within probably the first week or two of receiving it. And because we pretty much run a JIT system, like a just-in-time system, we'd sell the product and instantaneously obviously get the money because it's e-commerce. And then we're receiving the money prior to even having to pay off our vendors. Amazing business. Mm-hmm. I went 15 years, 12 years with no debt at all.
Yeah.
Lo and behold, insert BioSteel, because we're having like sometimes a 6-month delay of by the time we get raw material and we actually receive the money from the customer, essentially being a retailer or whoever. Yeah. It's like it could be up to 8 months, which is fucking crazy. Mm-hmm. So yeah, we feel it. We and like you were saying before, you felt like we were almost like running the business incorrectly.
Yeah.
But we were just not experienced in this kind of world to understand that this is the reality of it. We need to operate under a different style of essentially line of credit.
Right. Yeah. We were trying to take the fundamentals of an e-commerce business and apply it to a retail business.
Yeah.
And
it made us always feel like wrong, or we were doing something wrong.
Yeah. Yeah. Whereas now I feel like we have adapted our.
And let me be clear on something too. I have no investors. I have no partners. We're not backed by a PE firm. We're not backed by venture capital. It's me and me alone. Mm-hmm. That has to provide the money.
Yeah. You don't have like family money or trust fund or anything like that. No. Like it is you 100% bootstrapping it from your
the fuck strapped
mom's fucking garage or whatever that story was, basement.
Yeah.
To get started, right? Yeah. And fast forward 15, 20 years, coming up on 20 years actually. Yeah. You always say 15, but it actually is almost 20.
Is it really?
I think about it, you started 2008. We're 2026. Right? Almost 20 years.
I mean, Canadian Protein, I started when I was in 2011.
Yeah, but you had True Supplements before that, didn't you?
Yes. Yeah. TrueSupplements.com.
Yeah.
Yes.
So,
which I made by myself, by the way.
Yes.
I learned how to code.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
So, so I would say that I think we have a plan in terms of how to navigate it over the course of the next couple months. It's just going to require being very tight and being very strict to it and saying no to some things that certain people are not going to be thrilled about. But at the end of the day, like it would be different if you had an investor come in for a $50 million seed funding that will just provide working capital.
Sure. But would it
temporarily?
And I think the reason why I don't disagree with you.
I think it would kick the can down the road. Is what it would do.
I think what do you mean kick the can down the road?
Like if you had bad cash flow business management
Oh yeah,
practices,
that's what I mean.
and you just piled a whole bunch of money onto it.
That's what I mean.
It would feel better temporarily.
Yeah, that's exact.
But eventually,
I was literally going to go down that road, right? Yeah. I was literally going to go down that thought I don't think it would be better for us necessarily. The business is profitable enough for sustainable growth.
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly what I was going to say. I was going to say if we're doing the wrong things for the business, no matter what, and like I got a crash course on trying to pile too much shit onto an already big pile of shit, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
And like this year we felt it, and it was a mistake.
Mm-hmm.
You know, some things were just really expensive that had to be self-funded. Mm-hmm. That, you know, in hindsight, I don't know that I would have went that big.
Yeah.
Right. To be honest, like, you know, you got to think, like, we're launching, how many things are we actually launching in terms of innovation in the biggest retailers in the country?
Dozens of products.
Yeah. Which we have to put the money out for.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like a 6 to 8 month lead time before we even see the benefits of that or
mm-hmm.
the fruits of that innovation. Like,
yeah.
Wrong move, man. Like, mm-hmm. Totally wrong move, because, you know, we get a however many millions of dollars, tens of millions of dollars or whatever of protein drink order. Like, that was self-funded. And geez, when did we have to buy the raw material for that? It's now June 1st.
If you're looking at,
what is it, June 5th?
Yeah, we're at June 5th today. If you're looking at,
when do we buy all that raw material?
Using the second manufacturer, the one that we're currently using, we would have started ordering the materials late November, early December.
And we would have had to pay that raw material bill
mm-hmm.
January,
mm-hmm.
right? Early January, 30 days.
For materials that's starting to arrive early April. So we're having to cover it for 3 months at an interest rate of a couple of percentage over the course of a year, right?
Yeah.
APR. And like that, you're going to feel that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And so once again, it's just a different type of business model than e-commerce that you weren't used to, including myself. And once again, I think that we have
an understatement, to be honest.
Yeah, I think we have a good adapted plan. Mm-hmm. I think there's a couple main pillars, which is at a high level. If someone's not in the weeds of this type of business and just kind of interested in hearing at a high level, the first thing is, and here's another kind of like almost sensitive topic that was brought up yesterday that I actually like have no problem talking about here, is I felt like on our call yesterday with the entire team mm-hmm. that it's starting to feel like different sales channels are starting to fight against each other.
How so?
Just in the sense that
because of me?
Not necessarily because of you. I think it's because of, I think the main root cause is us having limited resources, right? We don't have an endless pool of funds to go in to do everything. And so now all of a sudden we're starting to say, hey, like, we can't do everything. We're going to have to peel back on some things. With the sales team.
I thought everybody was okay with that, though.
Well, what do you think from the tone of the conversation yesterday?
I think I was heavily contributing to that tone, to be honest.
What do you think was the receptiveness of it?
Like, I didn't pick up on anything, to be honest. Did you? Obviously. Yeah,
so I felt like not necessarily like things that I saw. I think it just made me think, like, when I was thinking about it last night, I was like, I don't want to have an organization where we do have the different sales channels fighting against each other.
No.
Right. And once again, I don't think that's happening now. Mm-hmm. I think it's just, I want to make sure that we're not perpetuating the language of saying like, hey, it is sales channel 1 versus sales channel 2, or retailer 1 versus retailer 2. It's like, no. Like, all of them are going to live together, and we're going to be able to support all of them. Mm-hmm. They're each going to have their role in the greater company and the greater strategy.
Be specific. Well, if you don't like it, we'll cut it out. Be specific. What actually happened that you are thinking?
I think, like, for example, like the tone of like trying to figure out like who is the priority of over Amazon over Costco. Right.
Oh, okay. So
like, that shouldn't be a conversation. It shouldn't be Amazon versus Costco at the end of the day. It's that
and
each one plays a role.
And I was contributing to that heavily, obviously.
And
Is that what you're saying?
I do think you went a little deeper than I think we should have in terms of like amplifying like one versus another, because I don't ever want to like demotivate a certain like head of sales of one department, call it, or one channel, that then's like, well, fuck, like the company's not even supporting my channel. Why even work as hard as I can to try growing specialty, for example, if that's not a priority? It's like, no, it's still a priority. It's just, I think a very clear, and maybe I'm overthinking it. Maybe I'm reading too much into it. I think I just want to make sure that as we navigate the next couple of months, if we do start peeling some things back, it's very clearly communicated. It's like, hey, like everyone is still a priority. We are going to be dedicating resources to all of them. Each one plays a role in the growth of the overall company. What we're trying to, the anti-pattern that we had last year, or the bad habit that we had last year, was that we emphasize one channel way too much. Yeah. And with having everyone's collective attention on just one channel, it then had two negative effects. One, if it didn't go according to plan, it kind of fucked us. Yeah. And two, it had us neglect other ones. Yeah. Right? And so what we're basically saying is that we don't want to be neglecting.
Yeah. I do think that what I said was necessary, though, in all honesty. Mm-hmm. So basically, for context for people that obviously weren't in the call, so I'm not going to get into specifics, but we have a really large retailer, a very large, big box retailer that we work with and are actually great to work with, to be honest with you. In all honesty, I also really admire the way that they structure their business. It's honestly no surprise where they are. But what's happened over the last couple years is that we completely neglected our two biggest and most profitable channels at the cost of this particular retailer, and actually not even only them, even like all of the BioSteel retailers, to be quite honest. Mm-hmm. So the two biggest retailers that we have that are also the biggest and also the most profitable moving forward is Canadian Protein website, Shopify website, so canadianprotein.com, BioSteel Amazon, and then a big box retailer, right, is third, correct? And then BioSteel Shopify, so biosteel.com, correct? Is that right? Mm-hmm. And then it's like, everyone else, and it's kind of like a step. And then who was fifth? Another retailer, right?
Yeah, the second largest retailer. Okay. I guess technically they are the largest retailer, but
are they actually?
I think so, in terms of like market cap or revenue.
Oh, okay.
But in terms of like business for us, they would be fifth.
Okay, got it. So we completely neglected Canadian Protein. Had basically my IT manager running Amazon, which we now have an Amazon expert starting Monday, which is, I can't wait for that to happen.
He's coming in office, by the way. I don't know if I told you that or not.
No. What do you mean? He's working here?
For like the week. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. He's just stay at the hotel, like right next door.
Oh, really? Down here?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
so
awesome.
I blocked off like my entire Monday morning to be
Where's he going to work out of?
Just like the conference room or something.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll be with him like a lot to make sure that he's meeting with the proper people, going through everything. Okay. Like I want to make sure he can hit the ground running.
Yeah, mm-hmm. For sure.
Yeah.
So we completely neglected those retailers, or those two channels specifically. So big mistake on my part, to be honest with you, because, listen, like I'm the head of the snake. It is what it is. I shouldn't have let that much focus, I guess, dwindle on especially it's like my firstborn, mm-hmm. CanadianProtein.com. Like we just kind of like let it coast. Yeah. Like, thank God we have a loyal customer base and to be honest, great product.
Shout out to all you guys.
Yeah, for real, seriously, because like we didn't put in the amount of effort that business needed over the last couple of years. And when I say effort,
I do also want to shout out like to the team that operates that business. That
from a production side,
yeah.
Like
if you
that's
think,
what I was gonna get into.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect. Go ahead.
I was gonna say we didn't neglect it from like a product side of things. Like the production was still humming. Now I will say there were certain times when this is another thing too, right? Like you got to think. Canadian Protein is the most profitable and brings in the most amount of revenue in terms of per channel on a per channel and per profit basis or whatever, per dollar basis. And we also restricted its production to appease retailers much lower on that help me out here.
List.
Yeah. Sure. List.
Tier.
Yeah. Yeah. So, which in hindsight, we shouldn't have done.
Yeah.
But it's kind of a slippery slope because you get so much pressure to keep shelf space and maintain your own shelf space. It's like a fight to the death in the retail world that if you don't maintain that shelf space and deliver, first of all, you're going to get fined like crazy. The fines are astronomical. And then also like someone's just waiting to take it from you. So your ego gets in the way a little bit as well, right? And my ego and competitive spirit for sure got in the way. While these guys in the back with production breaking their backs to try to keep everything floating while we're trying to appease, everybody, on the front face of things, on the front side of things, for a business that sometimes, in some of these retail scenarios, we might not even be profitable. So, the goal moving forward for fiscal 2027, our year end is June 30th. That's our year end, right?
Like 3 weeks.
Yeah, in 3 weeks. Like we have to focus on the right things moving forward. And that was a big learning curve and a big mistake that I made this year for sure.
And so when we say neglect, I think, you made an important clarifier. That it wasn't on like
quality
the
didn't drop.
No, if anything, it's like higher than ever.
Yeah.
We have like, we're growing the team.
Now we've got NSF certification.
Things are very, very tight. It's neglected in what I see as kind of two main ways. One is just in terms of product innovation. I mean, you talked about in my office just a couple of weeks ago about how when you first started Canadian Protein, especially like kind of a few years into it, you were pumping out new products all the time. I think it's the reason why there's 500 plus SKUs right now is that you were pumping things out like that, right?
We had like 1,300, right?
And you made it very, very simple to innovate products. And so I think that we did not spend enough attention to innovation. Things like magnesium glycinate came out way too late. Things like we
still don't even have clear protein.
We don't have clear protein. That's like another good example.
We have beef protein.
We have beef protein, but not flavored beef protein. Yeah. We don't have like flavored creatine for Canadian Protein, right? There's a lot of innovation things that are trending products that we were definitely behind the curve on an R&D side of things. Yeah. I'd say the second main way that if we did those things, we would have had a couple $1 million of additional revenue, of incremental revenue that would have just come in from the R&D. Second thing is that I think we significantly neglected Canadian Protein from like an ad management perspective. We have a set percentage of our revenues dedicated towards ads, and we consistently were spending about 1/3 of that budget on our ads. And so as a result of that is that, okay, fine, our loyal customers, we have great products, we have great tasting products, they have a loyal customer base. We have 81% of our orders are coming from repeat customers. That's crazy. Phenomenal in the e-commerce world. I've talked to some people before in the past that are like, oh, like I've got 50%. It's like, and
81.
And you talk to a Shopify expert and they're like, holy crap, like that's phenomenal. But the problem is that consistently over the last year is that the amount of new customers that we've had coming in has just been slowly dwindling. Yeah. Right. And how does a new customer find out about your product? Okay, there's word of mouth. Great. We can still have that without marketing. But if you don't have ads, you don't have email marketing, you don't have influencers talking about the products, you don't have all these other channels, sampling events, like you don't have things to gain new customers. That's the reason why it's just been slowly diminishing. So thank God there is a loyal consumer base, but those are the two main reasons why it's been neglected. So coming into 2020, fiscal 2027 for us, which is kind of like July 1st, starting of this year, starting a couple of weeks from now, those are two top priorities for Canadian Protein. We'll have the most revenue gain for Canadian Protein, just not running out of stocks.
Yeah.
For the people that
which is so crazy to think. Imagine that.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So novel of an idea.
I know.
Right? Yeah.
Just keep shit in stock, which is so crazy.
So for example, like we have one of our best selling SKUs right now that we have had a problem getting the raw material.
What's
right?
that?
That's Korea Pure.
I was literally going to ask you about that. What's going on with that?
It's like
still no.
It's progressed. They accepted the changes, but now we're at like 6 weeks out from the materials being delivered. We're losing $1,000 a day on an average of sales on that product that people would buy it.
Why 6 months or 6 weeks? I thought it was ready to go. The sale.
No, you still that's when once that was finalized, that's when they put the PO in queue, and then you have like the lead time from that PO date. Yeah. So basically they had the whole thing on hold. And so, So that's a good example. Is that would have been incremental business, meaning in addition. Are they going to
let us sell the existing bags and run out of stock?
We can talk about that separately. So that's a good example. So the team has done a fantastic job keeping things in stock. That is our number one priority. That just doing that alone has an impact of like several $1 million. If we don't keep our best sellers in for even like having a couple of days out of stock, extrapolated over a year, a couple $1 million. Mm-hmm. Second thing is growing Amazon Canadian Protein. We're slowly getting the ball rolling on kind of getting that scaled up. The main problem last year was that our margins were so thin on the products that Amazon wasn't even viable. Whereas now I think that we have a couple of levers that we can pull to help get Amazon viable. So we definitely want to get that scaled back up. One of the main things to start is just the supplements, which is kind of ironic seeing it's Canadian Protein, but we can start on the supplements. But then also vegan protein. Like vegan protein, we have the margin available to be able to invest into the marketing and the co-op and everything, just because pea protein hasn't increased in price to the same extent as whey. So that's the second thing. Third thing is R&D on a couple of new products. Fourth thing is then the like getting the new customer acquisition ads up and running, that whole campaign. And what was the fifth thing? I had 5 main pillars for this year. And then like revamping the website, which is we also already just launched. You're gonna do a video later today about this. The new website is fucking killing it. It looks so good. It's so clean. Like I'd love to hear anyone that does listen to this and is a regular Canadian Protein consumer. I'd love to hear your thoughts on the new website. We better showcase like the nutritional facts, the grams of protein per serving, the cost per gram of protein per serving of protein. Like you're able to see that.
Casey, take a clip of a product page and throw it up.
Yeah, just go to like whey protein isolate, for example, and like that main product page. It's looking fantastic. The images look much better. We have all the additional, I forget what they call, on Amazon they call it A+ content. I don't know if the same word applies to Shopify, but it's all that additional content to help sell the product. The use cases, the benefits, like why you should buy this product. We have all that uploaded. So that's kind of like the main things for Canadian Protein of how, and I think that like I literally have this like fucking piece of paper in my office that I look at every single morning to remind myself of where I should be spending attention. Yeah. It's like, hey, here is the main priority in terms of like, do not let this be neglected. Yeah. And then here's to kind of go down the list of ensure that each one is being having the proper energy, attention, resources, problem solving, like the team being dedicated to it, etc. Yeah, good. Because that way I feel like when you put all those pieces together as a company, then you'll see the scale and the growth and designing in such a way that it's complementary to one another and not having it where one channel is trying to compete against another. Yeah, for sure. Okay. I think it's good there.